Hey everyone, welcome to my third video in my video series of running solo and GMless games. My name is Roosevelt Cooper of Golden Acacia Gaming, and in this video I want to show you this book right here, the Mythic Game Master Emulator 2nd edition. We're going to be taking a deep dive into Mythic in future videos in this series, but in particular in today's video, I want to share with you 5 ways you can use the Mythic Game Master Emulator book. And first off, I want to welcome all of the brand new subscribers to my channel. We got a bunch of new subscribers over the past week or so, and I'm super excited for each and every one of you who have decided to subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoy our play along adventure series where we're playing The Lost Mine of Phandelver. We'll have the next video up for that next week. And in this video, we're going to be basically talking about how to use Mythic to be able to play games solo and GMless. So just to give you a simple breakdown, the Mythic Game Master Emulator is a system that's designed to allow you to be able to play tabletop role-playing games. It's not dependent upon a specific system, so you could play it with Dungeons and Dragons, you could play it with Call of Cthulhu, you could play it with Pathfinder, you could play with Everyday Heroes, you could play with Star Wars. Whatever tabletop role-playing system you want to use, you can actually use the Mythic Game Master Emulator with that system. And the primary purpose of the Mythic Game Master Emulator is it was originally designed for you to be able to play a tabletop role-playing game solo by yourself without any GM, without any players. So that was the purpose of it. That's the primary way it's used. That's the way that most people use it. However, there are several other ways that you can use this system that you might not be aware of. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can use the Mythic Game Master Emulator in your play. So the first way you can use it is, as I mentioned, you can use the Mythic Game Master Emulator for solo play. So if you're looking to play a tabletop RPG by yourself, without a GM, without any other players, that is what this book is designed to allow you to be able to do. And what's cool about it is it has a number of different tables that you can roll on. So if you're trying to find out if the goblins are hostile, there's a table you can roll on and it will tell you, oh yes, the goblins are hostile, the goblins are not hostile, so on and so forth. There's some meaning tables in there as well, so if you're trying to find out more about the particular scene you're playing in, you roll in the meaning table and it will give you 2 words that you can use to give you an idea of that you can generate as far as what's happening and what's going on. But this system was originally designed for solo and GMless play, and you can absolutely use it for that purpose. It does an excellent job with that, and that, for me personally, is the primary way that I use the Mythic Game Master Emulator to be able to play solo without a GM and without any other players. The second way that you can use this is to play group play without a GM. And I've used this as well. I typically will use this when I have a smaller group. If it's just like 2 of us or 3 of us, then I will pull out the Mythic Game Master Emulator and we will play using that. So many of the same tools that you can use for solo play to emulate a game master, you can use those same exact tools for group play if none of you are going to be the game master. So it allows me, because I am one of those forever GMs where typically if we're playing a tabletop role-playing game, I more likely than not will be the GM. So because of that, if I want to actually be able to play with one of my player characters and we don't have our full group, I will use the Mythic Game Master Emulator. Those of us who are available and who are playing will play, and we'll run through the adventure and see what Mythic has to offer us. It's very fun. I really enjoy playing that way, and it allows us forever GMs to actually get from behind the screen and actually be able to experience the game from a player's perspective as well. Another way you can use the system is as a co-GM. I have not played with Mythic in this way, but this is another way you can use it. So if you are the game master and you're running your adventure, you can actually use Mythic to help you to be able to generate different things for your adventure. So just like you're using Mythic as a game master when you're playing solo, you can actually, if you're running a game for a group of people, you can actually use Mythic to help you out. So one way that I could think of where you could actually use this is, let's say you have a group of friends and you're like, hey, we want to play Dungeons and Dragons, and you haven't prepped anything. This would be a great opportunity to be able to use Mythic as a co-GM, because you can literally use the Mythic system to be able to generate an entire storyline, an entire adventure for your players just by using the tables and tools that it has available to you. Again, I haven't used it personally for that, but that is another way you could use this system. Another way you could use the Mythic Game Master 2 emulator is, if you're a writer, you can use this as a tool to help you to be able to craft fictional stories. Now, that's not something that I've personally used the system for, but it is something that you could use the system for, because just like it allows you to be able to craft adventures, you can literally use the exact same tools and mechanics that the system offers to be able to craft your own fictional stories. So that is another way you could use the tool. And then the final way that you can use this system is a way that I actually have used it, and I've had a lot of fun using it this way. And that is, you can use it as a game master to simulate playing with a party of players. So you can actually use this system, and pretty much the same mechanics that you use to determine what the game master is emulating, you can actually use those same exact mechanics to emulate what the player characters are doing. So I give you a perfect example. Let's say you are running an adventure. Let's say, for instance, you might be running Dragons of Stormwreck Isle. You can literally take the Mythic system and actually emulate what the players do. So do the players kill the zombies, or do the players run from the zombies? You can literally just use the system to determine what the players do. And that's a really fun and creative way to be able to use it, because it gives you an opportunity to be able to be the game master for an adventure that maybe you might not have had an opportunity to be able to run that adventure for a group of people. Well, you can run that adventure yourself as the game master and use the system to be able to emulate the actions of the players. So those are 5 different ways that you can use the Mythic Game Master Emulator. Try them out. I think you will have a lot of fun doing so.